Hi everyone, my name is Heather Darris and I'm here to talk about patterning for Unit 3. This week, first of all, let me tell you that my topic is storytelling, and there are lots of different patterns in storytelling, and at first I thought I was never going to be able to repattern storytelling because um, there are already so many patterns, but my mind took me to a different place and I was able to recreate a story, and what I came up with I'm pretty proud of and I'm excited to share it with everybody. So in my Spark Notes I have all the details about different patterns and how they already exist, um, and what I've noticed in storytelling and the patterns. Before I begin, I just want to explain where my head was to recreate this. Um, my book I am going to share is If You Give a Moose a Muffin. These stories by Laura Numeroff shares different animals and kind of does a pattern itself within the book where the animal character, is usually eating something. And throughout the story, each thing that happens will remind him of something else. And by the end of the story, it will remind him of getting a muffin again. So as you read each of these stories by her, it kind of does, like I said, it does a pattern itself. As a first grade teacher and reading stories and storytelling, I feel that um, the idea is that the students understand the story as well as become able to repeat the stories because they're able to share it and experience it and retell the stories themselves. So usually in my classroom for storytelling, I pick specific authors and reread several of the stories, and the students start to understand and see how the patterns are within the books from the author and are able to participate and join in and engage in the reading because they know what to expect already. So this kind of goes back to my idea of what patterning is. Patterning is the ability to recall and identify patterns through previous experience, which allows us to predict patterns in the future. One's experience of patterning gives us the ability to form new patterns or recreate ones from existing patterns. So that is my idea of patterning, and I can show you how I did that. So this, again, is a story about If You Give a Moose a Muffin. Within the story, the boy gives the moose a muffin to begin the story. After that, he has jam. The jam reminds him of different things, and it keeps taking him on a path to eventually go outside. He sees a blackberry bush, which reminds him of the jam, and he'll ask you for jam. And chances are is a code word that is repeated in every one of these stories. So chances are if you give him some jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it. So my repatterning of this specific book, or repatterning of these storytelling in general, it comes from what we are currently doing in math. I thought about math and I thought about what we are currently doing in math, and I tried to connect the two of them. What I came up with is we are currently doing tally marks in math, and tally marks are representing the number 5. My idea for the students is to summarize each page by creating a 5-word sentence. So that is my pattern. Again, I will explain that again. So my idea of a pattern is for my students to, well, I'm doing storytelling and they become familiar with the story, is to summarize the book by creating a 5-sentence pattern, which again takes me back to tally marks. I really like this idea because it includes summarizing, so they're showing me that they understand what they know. It includes writing, Writing is something that my students are not doing very well on. As in my current first grade, they're not the best writers yet when they come into first grade. So this would give all of us an opportunity to work together and create the sentence. And again, it brings up the number 5, which is something that we're doing in with tally marks in math. So I'm kind of bringing different content areas into our classroom and into storytelling, and it kind of just brings everything together that we're doing. So again, I really like this idea. I will read you the story that I came up with. Once I started doing this, it just honestly became familiar to me, and I didn't even have to like count out words to create a sentence. It just came very natural, and I really thought it was a good idea. So this is If You Give a Moose a Muffin, by summarizing each page and only using 5 words and creating a sentence. If you give a moose a muffin. The moose has a muffin. He will want some jam. You will get Mom's blackberry jam. Moose wants to eat another. Moose eats all, wants more. Need mix, both go shopping. It's cold, needs a sweater. Button loose, wants to fix. Sewing reminds him of grandmother. Need socks for sock puppets. He wants a puppet show. Need material to make show. Moose needs you to help. Something to cover his antlers. Your bed sheet will work. Sheets remind him of ghosts. Scared himself makes a mess. Uses sheet to clean mess. Moose wants to hang dry. Cleans it on the clothesline. Outside, he sees blackberry bush. Blackberries remind him of jam. Moose will want some jam. Probably, this is where the chances are comes in, but I changed it to probably. If you have jam, he'll want a muffin too. So that's how I repatterned. Again, I think that will be really beneficial for my students. It's a cross-content patterning skill. It allows them to focus on doing 5. It also helps them and myself to go over writing with them and creating sentences, and also summarizing and recognizing patterns in stories and their understanding of what we're reading and storytelling. So that's all I have. I hope that you have enjoyed my recreation of patterns.